Welcome to another episode of the Carry Trainer Higher Line podcast. So where are we today?
We are Nordico Coffee Roasters in Tamarindo.
Tamarindo. And I was looking at the shirt.
Ah, yeah.
So you are the owner?
I'm the owner, yeah.
What's your name?
Olaf.
Olaf. You don't sound Costa Rican though. You're German.
I'm German, correct.
Hiding out here. So you've got a medium roast going now, just cooling off?
Yes. This is from Pamichal, a washed coffee from the Taquari Mountains. And this is a wash process, make a very clean taste. It's good for espresso we have here in our espresso machine. So this is the coffee of the house. We sold most of it. We call it Grumpy Iguana.
Grumpy Iguana?
Grumpy Iguana, yes. We
a lot of iguanas here.
We have 12 different kind of coffees from different haciendas, different processes, different varieties of coffee. This is Catura, for example. We have a Typica, we have Geisha, we have Catuai. So we have different kinds of varieties.
How many pounds or kilograms do you roast at one time with this machine?
This is a 5 kilo roast.
5 kilo roaster?
5 kilo gas drum roaster, right? So you put the green coffee, you put here inside, you have here the rotating drum. Under it is the flame, it's just heating it. It always needs to be moved because otherwise it gets burned, right? And then I have to steer it a little bit with the air. This is what I'm doing here. I have the rotation of the drum, what I can calibrate, and I have the size of the flame. And I have my roasting curve already made. When the coffee is coming for the season, I do roasting, cupping, and try what is the best roasting curve for all of these processes. And I have this in my computer, and so this is to always have the same result.
Working on consistency.
Yes. Anyway, even you have that, is a little bit changing because the machine is heating up when you roast more. So you cannot just do blind always the same thing.
Got to monitor what's happening
in between, and to always have the best result. Right?
How long do you cool the beans for?
Oh, that is around 15 minutes normally, until now it's already fine.
Is this stuff all going to the store, or will you bag that and sell it?
No, this is for the store. I put it here in this big sack because we are using for our cold brew, for our cold espresso what we are doing, and for the espresso machine. Yes, some of this we will package also for put it in bags.
So these beans are all Costa Rican?
Yes, I only have Costa Rican beans.
Only Costa Rican beans.
I'm a Costa Rican coffee roaster, so we only have Costa Rican beans.
Does anybody even import other coffees to Costa Rica?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, why would you?
Yes.
How do people find your store if they want to buy the coffee or when they're visiting to come to the store? How do they find you? What's your website?
Oh, my website is Nordico.coffee.
Nordico.coffee.
Yes.
You got coffee domain now.
Yes.
And then Instagram?
Instagram, we are there as well. That's Nordico Coffee House.
Nordico Coffee House.
And Facebook,
that's how I found you.
Facebook as well, Nordico Coffee House.
Are you going to do another roast?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Now, after pandemia, it's getting much more expensive. But I try to be at least one time per year in summer to see my mother. Around 15%.
15%?
For the medium roast, it's 15%.
Yeah, what did you just say?
What did I say?
Costa Rican coffee, you were drinking it for the first time and realized...
Yes, no. I think maybe a lot of people have this experience. When I was drinking the first time really good specialty coffee, I was thinking, wow, the coffee is so great and I like the taste. I don't need to cover the taste with anything. I don't need milk. I don't need sugar to cover the ugly taste. No, the taste itself is great and is fantastic. And that is the reason why it's not important to have the cheapest coffee. Why it's important to have the best tasting coffee.
How do you differentiate between it being expensive and being good? Because sometimes people just think if they're buying expensive coffee, it's good.
Yes, no. There is one possibility, and this is the Specialty Coffee Association, and they have a rating system. So all of my coffees has been rated from a guy who has an own profession. It's called the Q Grader. This is a good job. It's well paid because you have a lot of influence. The Q Grader is cupping the coffee of a harvest, of a hacienda, of a season, and then he is rating the coffee. If it's more than 80 points, what he's giving is a specialty grade. If it's more than 85, it's an excellence grade. And this makes the price on coffee fairs. So this is why I say this is a profession with a high influence, because he makes the price. And then you have different kind of Q graders, and all of them should be more or less in the same range. So this is take long for education of this, but this is something neutral institution which give you an idea about the quality of this coffee.
I like it.
This is Palmichal is very close to Tarazu. This is in the south of the Central Valley area, where I don't know, most of the Costa Rican population live in San Jose and the surrounding cities. So this is in the south, in the hills. You can go there and you can see it's very steep slopes. It's a shaded grown coffee. It's a high biodiversity there. This is a difference, maybe interesting. What is the difference between industrial coffee and specialty coffee? Industrial coffee, Brazil is the biggest exporter of coffee in the world. So they have big haciendas, I don't know, 15 miles in both directions on the flat land. No shade, nothing, only monoculture, only coffee plants, one next to the other, under the bright sun, which is a lot of stress for the plants. The plant tries to survive and produce a lot of beans, which is good for the farmer, but it's bad for the plant because it weakens the plant. So what you have to do is, you have to go over with the plane and spray pesticides, so the plants will survive, right? Then you go with a machine, automatized through that, and you pick all the beans. Doesn't matter if most of it is red, but there are green ones or whatever. Everything will be picked from that machine. Then you get it washed in the water of the river, and then the pesticides and all of the things going in the river and going into the ocean. This is industrial production of coffee. Like any kind of industrial production has some negative effects.
Sure,
on
like
the
corn,
environment.
like corn in America.
Or meat or whatever, right?
Sure.
So specialty coffee in that case is different because it is in high altitudes. It needs to be in high altitudes to have really good quality coffee, because in high altitudes you get high density coffee beans. And this only happens when you have a change between temperatures from night till day. It needs to be cooler at night and hot at the day. Then you get strictly hard beans, SHB, which is just the density. You have a handful of high quality coffee beans and the same amount of beans in the left hand, but one weighs more. This is the better quality. And why is it better quality? Because I can roast much better. I will get a much more conform result when I have beans with a higher quality. So specialty coffee is hand-picked. When the coffee is a fruit, when the coffee cherry is red, is hand-picked. This is sustainable, is fair trade. One family is owning the farm, and it's possible one family lives from one farm, but that farm is not huge like something. There are hundreds, I told you, around 280 specialty coffee farms in Costa Rica, and they are family-owned businesses. So this is another aspect, right? When you drink this kind or this cup of coffee, I have this in my mind. This is not only good for me, and I like the taste. I know it is good for the environment. I know it is good for the nature, and I know, okay, there's no depletion or whatever happening to get this coffee.
Helping a family live.
All
and
of that helped me to have a good experience.
I like that. Un momento. Coffee beans, hand picked. Wanted to show your beans out there. Thinking about actually hand picking all of those. So you're gonna roast at some point here. You meter that out, or you just toss in any old amount? You just toss in any amount, or do you know exactly how much you're gonna put into the roaster?
No, I will measure exactly how many kilo I put in the roaster, because I need to measure from before.
German humor. That's no fun.
Sorry. Yeah, I have sometimes this kind of problems here.
So you're gonna measure out exactly 5 kilos of green beans?
Exactly, yes. And then I measure afterwards, because I need to know about the loss, because the coffee bean loses weight. It's more or less moisture, which is going out in the process of roasting. So at least for calculation prices, I need to know, because I pay a price for the green bean, but it's not the same amount in roasted beans when I get out. So I need to know the rate of loss. It's a difficult question. As long as you know the answer, the question is not difficult, only if you don't know the answer.
Yeah.
So it's not difficult if you have passion, and if you want to do the things, if you have fun. And I like, and this is maybe the difference to the job I had before, I like when I see at the end what I was doing, right? And as you see, I can measure even, okay, I made this amount of coffee I roasted, or these liters of cold brew, I can see the numbers of my cafe, I can organize that, and I can see, okay, this is good, this is bad, and to be honest, this is what makes fun. So
It's
not just work for me, it's part of the game.
The game. So locally, there's a coffee tour that they take people to a local farm.
Yes?
Is that any place that you do business with?
Yes, I think it's Diria, and I'm sure this is a cooperativa, so this is I think 120 farmers, they are in this cooperativa, and they are doing locally coffee, which means this is coffee from Blue Zone. Most of my coffees are coming from Tarazu, Michal, Tota. This is the areas more in the center of the country, because this is gifted, right? They have the altitude, they have the climate from the two oceans, they have the soil from the volcans, and this is the reason why this is one of the world's best coffees. Here in the peninsula, Nicoya, they are missing a little bit the altitude. For that reason, it is hard for them to get the same quality like they have in Tarazu. But, and this is the thing, they have fantastic coffee, and this coffee is coming from Blue Zone. I don't know if you know something about Blue
We
Zone.
do.
So this is one of the few Blue Zones in the area, and this coffee is coming from Cerro Negro, which is the highest mountain in Nicoya. This is 1,000 meters. Would be nice if it would be maybe 800 meters more, but they can make really excellent coffee, and this is graded coffee as well. It's excellence grade coffee. And I have one coffee from Copipilangosta, which is an anaerobic process, and it's called the Matambu from them. This coffee is really excellent, one of the best coffees I ever tried. I can recommend you to try that.
I would like to.
Has some kind of whiskey flavors. It's very unusual. You would not expect in a coffee. And this is coming from the anaerobic process. What is the anaerobic process? Has been invented in Costa Rica, like others, like the honey process. With the anaerobic process, they put the coffee beans in a sealed ton, and they put a tap on it, and they have a special valve which only lets the oxygen go out and keeps the CO2. So the coffee is fermenting. The coffee always is fermenting. When I put it on concrete and on sunbeds, it's fermenting as well. But when I put it in these tons, I can support this process of fermentation. It's a little bit like making kombucha. Right? You don't want to get alcohol inside, but you want that the product is fermenting. And then you have different kind of types. You can put in the sun to have it quicker. You can have it in shade. So the farmers are experimenting with that. And in that special case for the Matambu, they really have found a very, very cool way to get very interesting results. And
I think I bought a bag of it the other day.
I think this is the one you were posting when you were here. Mm-hmm. Did you try it already?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes. No, that's really good coffee.
I think I bought a bag of it. You got it right here.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, it's the light blue one.
Yes, yes. See. Just a couple more beans. Are we in your way?
No, no. Driving a car, if I want to accelerate, I need to give more air. If I want to brake, so bring the curve, flatten the curve, then I have to give more of the rotation, right? And with the flame, I can play as well, but most of the time I only make it with these two things. The thing is, the green bean at the beginning is just losing a little bit of moisture, and at some point is the Maillard phase, the yellowing phase, the bean gets yellow. And if you have specialty coffee, it is good, maybe less important for a wash process, more important for a honey or for an anaerobic process, to expand this phase, to make it longer. So that means when I'm getting to the yellowing phase, I try that the curve, which is going quickly at the beginning, is flattened, so I have a longer time for the yellowing phase, which brings out the most interesting kind of flavors. So this is a little bit what you try when you roast the coffee, to bring out the interesting parts, interesting flavors. And when I have a new coffee, I try always a little bit different. I try the coffee, and then maybe I find one coffee where I say, wow, now that has some kind of orange notes or whatever. And then I want to develop that, so I try around this area some different things, and at the end I say, okay, now this is the perfect thing. And then I use it for all of my coffees.
Jot it down so you can do it again. So you jot it, you write down what you're doing so you can do it again?
Yes, exactly. So
Make
I have here in my list, I know exactly when I have to give more air, when I have to give more rotation or things like this. So I just follow that.
How long will
But
this...
as I told you, it's not possible to make it 100% because the machine acts differently.
Air
it's
temperature.
getting more heat. I don't know, the 8th batch what I make is different to the first. Right? But then you learn when you do that every day.
Yeah.
Experience. No one is able to do something just coming from nothing. All the people which are having excellence in something are the people who were giving more than others. They were more investing than others, and that is the reason why they are better than others. And this is what I explain to my kids as well, right? If you want to be better than someone, you have to invest much more than other people. You cannot do that in every area, so you need to focus on your area, and then you get excellence.
So true.
Memory, it was very, very cold.
Yes.
It was in winter and it was windy. And I think it's normal, right? Because the winds are coming over the lakes, the Great Lakes, and then, wow, I know that. See, it's still green.
Mm-hmm.
Already hot, but green. Right? And so I will get from the Specialty Coffee Association of Costa Rica. They will send me the winners of this year, and then we will have a cupping, and we will try the best coffees of this year here in Nordico.
Lovely. Let's see how your roast is doing.
Now it's getting in the yellowing.
You're about 8 minutes in.
Yes, but that is because I lost some, yes.
What temperature?
I try not to go too high, and I only know in Celsius.
Sure.
So it's 100, 200 Celsius, so normally it's around 180, 185 in the top temperature, right? Strong burnt, then I cannot help, right?
Yeah.
But means strong, the amount of caffeine, then I recommend to drink cold brew because that has to do something with the extraction time. As longer the extraction time, as more caffeine, that means an espresso doesn't have too much caffeine because it only has 18 seconds or 20 seconds of extraction time. If you want to have a lot of flavor, you use just more of the coffee powder, right? Then you have more intense flavors, but other people want to have less. So what is a strong coffee?
It's happening fast.
So now we're getting more in the direction where we want to get. Ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Crackle. Smells so good.
Visit our website, carrytrainer.com, for information about classes held throughout the U.S., Carry Trainer apparel, and upcoming projects. You can also email us at training@carrytrainer.com for information about setting up your own private course or speaking engagement. Training@carrytrainer.com or carrytrainer.com.
what are you doing in the podcast room, Steve?
I'm writing a national anthem. It's going to be at folk festivals for Gunfighter Gunawell.
Oh.
Let me tell you about Gunfighter Gunhire. Made in the USA. Gunfighter gun oil, 100% synthetic. It's gonna last you, baby. Yeah. Gunfighter gun oil is the best I've ever seen. It's gonna make you get everything that you've ever seen. Oh, baby, I love me some gunfighter gun oil. Yeah. Oh, gunfighter gun oil. Gunfighter.
Just gonna get my lighter out. I don't have it.
It wasn't even Bob Dylan. It was like a love story.